Car Guy OCD. Well, I'm going to do my version of it. OCD is spending a shitload more money to go to full synthetic over a blend. That's not a bad idea when your engine is worth about $18,000, if you shell one at least, counting labor and everything. Here's a look at my toolbox. You guys ever seen these kind of toolboxes? These kind of a, I don't know, I wasn't very good at geometry. What would you call it? I guess it's somewhat of a triangle. Maybe an isosceles. Who knows? Love my stickers. On the toolbox, though, at least. These are pretty goddamn handy. A lot of people mount them on the, on their flatbeds, or I've seen several of these on the back of utility truck beds. Anyway, that's just that. This video today I'm going to make, there's the old, I did a video on this, by the way, and I simply couldn't upload it. That's funny what that is. Here's a better look at my truck. It's in the light, but fucking filthy. Listen to a little Sons of Otis. Look how clean she is. Anywho, I'm making this video because, well, okay, speaking of OCD, here's one thing. A lot of flatbeds run these parts, and nobody puts a lock on their cross boxes. I go into town more often than not, and I'm OCD about it because of, well, methamphetamines. I like to cross the old with the new hunter green F-150, and I didn't like the stock F-150 logo, and I want to take it off. And of course, you think of Ford, you know, old school Ford, you think of the Cobra, and I wanted to take that off. Where it said F-150, you put a Cobra. Actually, I think it was up there, somewhere around there. But anywho, I learned a long time ago, when I did have my Cobra, nothing's worse than a fake. And of course, there ain't no Cobra pickup. But anyway, that's a symbol of something that if you're packing a snake, you better back it up. And oh man, when I had my Cobra, I saw so many faggots of V6 Mustangs and GTs with fake snakes on the side. And they wouldn't even replace the bumper. It would say Mustang GT on the side, or on the bumper. It's like, what the fuck? Or it'd have one tailpipe, meaning it's a six-banger. Some even went through the process of getting the Cobra hood of that late 90s body. Well, it was late 90s, but mine was 97. I don't remember exactly how many or what years they used that body style. My friend Firearms Rescue will know. But anyway, the point of this video is mixing old with new, which I've always liked to do. And this, I wanted to replace a friend of mine who also owns a 6.7 Power Stroke. He took this off and put the like the decal that they used with the later years of the 7.3 and the 6.0. But I've actually seen some dumb fuckers with 6.4s. A 6.4, you don't have any choice of removing the logo. It's like a hole in your fender in the big grate, the maroon grate, no matter what color your truck is, Power Stroke V8, blah blah blah. And they'll actually leave that there because you have to, and then put one here that looks exactly the same, but it says 6.4. And in a Facebook forum or on their page, whatever, I used to joke around with them. I was like, well, who's going to be the first one to have that, and then put the old 7.3, 6.0 Power Stroke underneath? And I never did get a reply. But that aside, I like to think more old school. So the 6.7 Power Stroke is a 406 cubic inch V8. There's some contradicting articles or information on it. They say, oh, it's a 408. I've seen a couple that say it's a 409. And I thought about saying, hey, maybe I'll get, the old 409 emblems for it, because those were pretty tits. Those are about the only Chevys I really have respect for, or one of the few. But when you think 409, you think Chevy, and they got the cross flags, and that's like their emblem. And can't do that. But it actually is a 406. And Ford did make a 406 back in the day. I actually didn't even know about this engine until about 6 or 7 years ago. It was a FE engine, of course, and it was made to compete with the 409, and actually the 409 kind of got the better of it, and it only lasted a couple years, and then Ford came out with their 427, and that was the end of the 409. So I thought about getting the old Ford Eagles with the cross flags to say 406 and replace it with this. But you know what? Too much work, plus those goddamn emblems cost $100 a piece. So for $200, I'll leave well enough alone. So how am I going to sneak in some old school? Well, better get the sons of bitches out. Valve cover decals from a 62 or 63 Galaxy. Hey, it's Ford Motor Company, which they are the only ones that actually make their own diesel. As of the 6.7, in case you didn't know, they always used to run internationals. So it is a Ford Motor Company engine. It is high performance. Oh goddamn, I don't even know what the goddamn numbers on this thing are. I think it's 440 horse, 850 torque. Or actually, it might be more than that torque-wise. I mean, they're freaking monsters nowadays. So all this is correct, but it's a touch of the old school mixed with the new. And all this is not false advertisement, like putting a fucking Cobra on something that's not a Cobra. If you're watching this and you own a goddamn Mustang with snakes on the side, it's not a Cobra, I don't mean to be rude, but I hope you die tonight. Don't really know where to put these. Don't want to put them anywhere on the truck. The engine, I'm thinking something else. I guess I'll show you. If you guys have never seen a 6.7 Power Stroke underneath the hood, they really got her shoved in here. I mean, it's nothing like the old days. My old 6.4, I put an old 390 decal on. Yeah, I've done something like this before. This is going. As soon as I get the cash flow for it, this looks like a head. That's actually not. That's the EGR cooler. And as soon as I get the cash flow for that, I would take it off, but I'm worried about emissions, so I'm going to leave it on. Let me go to this side. I mean, it's so bad they even got the batteries staggered. Usually they're side by side. That one, this one's here, that one's like over there. There's the degas bottle. And I mean, you can't even see the frickin' engine hardly. So decals underneath the hood, which is where they belong when it comes to actual engine decals, don't have a lot of room. And I'm not going to worry about that now. Once I get it all set up with the intake I want and all that, I will worry about that later. But for now, I'm thinking, I'm thinking right around here on the flatbed, on the side of the truck, not on the window, not on the body anywhere. Put her here, put her here, make it subtle. So, you know, people won't really notice at first. Then they'll notice later. Oh my God, what am I doing? Alright. I'm going to put them on. Let you know what I think. These things cost $5 a piece, which is no big deal, but I think they charge me $15 fucking for shipping. Dearborn Classics. I mean, when it comes to, if you got an old Ford and you want some old shit, if you don't know about them, they got about as good as shit you can get, but they're pricey. You want to put a decal across that one of these days. What I want, I don't know. I'll get back to you when I'm done. Little bastard. Well, there's the finished product. Let me know what you guys think. I don't really care about, I mean, I care, but I'm not really worried about what you think about what I've done. But what do you think about integrating the old school with the new? Because you gotta admit, you know, 60s, hell, 50s, 60s, and early 70s. That's like the pinnacle of American automobiles, not pickups. I mean, they've come a long way since then in terms of pickups. But cars, yeah, you could say what you want about cars now. They got Wi-Fi in them and traction control and independent rear suspension. Fuck that. I'd take an old school car any day. Another reason I forgot to mention, I also wanted to make a statement like this, subtle as it may be, which it's supposed to be. I've always been against a liter bullshit. This ain't fucking Canada. This should say 406. And the first American car that I can remember seeing with that crap was a GTO. I think they're the ones that had 6.6 liter on the side of their 400 power GTOs or 389s. Maybe it's 6.5. Fuck, I don't remember. All I remember is liters. But I like it. Obviously, the color goes pretty well. I'll see if anybody notices. I'm going to put this on the the Facebook page for these diesels. And I bet I'll get a lot of hatred because, well, for one, this truck is an oddball. Everybody else lifts them and put big ass fucking 24-inch wheels, and they never in their lives see this much dirt. And this is just from last week. And speaking of OCD, firearms, I bet you're fucking pissed right now. You're probably thinking, how could you let your goddamn truck get so dirty? Well, living out in the country is one thing, but we just broke drought, and we're getting rain like crazy, and it's supposed to start storming. Actually, it's supposed to be storming right now. I thought about spraying her off today, knocking off this loose shit. And I said, you know what the fuck, what's the point? It's going to rain the next 4 days. It's going to get muddy again. But if this truck being dirty bothers you, I can assure you it bothers me 1,000 times more. But sometimes it's better not to piss up a rope. There it is, on the side of the headache right there. I'll meander around and show you the other side because, I mean, it looks a lot different. Yeah, like I said, subtle reference towards the old cubic inch days and the old FOMOCO. Hell yes. I'm going inside and I'm going to bed.